Good morning. Let's talk about this bike for a few minutes. I actually have 2 pages of notes on all the stuff we've done to it. If you've been following the videos, you know it's been a vexation. We can't get it to start. We think we've done everything right. We've gotten a lot of comments, which I appreciate. And I'm going to go through what we've done and what we're going to do this morning. Let's see, top dead center mark was wrong on the rotor. We corrected that. We now have an accurate top dead center mark. That doesn't affect the starting because the mark for the full advance was actually correct. However, it did let me set the valves properly. The valves were tight, and with the new top dead center mark, I was able to adjust the valves and get them to a nice 6 and 8, I believe it is, or 8 and 10. Yeah, 8 and 10. The timing is exactly set properly. We have a old Boyer system in here, and we set the timing rotor and the timing marks exactly, precisely correct, probably 2 or 3 times, if not more, 5 or 6 or 8 times. The timing is correct. It's not 180 degrees out because an electronic ignition fires the spark plug every single time the piston gets to the top of the stroke. In other words, it fires it twice. It's called throwing a dead spark. So you can actually time these things with the piston at the bottom, and it doesn't matter because it throws 2 sparks and you're always getting the spark at the right time, even if you're 180 degrees out of where you would normally set the ignition, it's still correct. So it's not 180 out. That's only possible with mechanical points. Okay, timing exact. We've been through the carburetor, Kevin and I have been through the carburetor at least twice. And it's clean as a whistle and not bad. So, and the throttle's working, we got good snap, good clearance, good setting, good shape. We tested the fuel flow, and both petcocks are working. Gas is getting to the carburetor. I spoke at length with my good buddy Bill. He owns the bike. He's a friend of mine. We're doing all of this gratis. This is just a favor for a friend, no charge. And partially because it's fun. I love a challenge, and boy, this one has been a challenge. So we're not charging anything for all these hours, and we probably put, I don't know, 4 or 5 days work in this thing so far with not much joy. So anyway, Bill swears he bought the bike and it wasn't as nice. But he started it, ran it through the gears, and it runs. It runs when he bought it. He has not been inside the timing case. He has not changed the timing gears that operate the valves. Those have not been touched, he swears. And it did run with this JRC PWK carburetor. This carburetor, he didn't put it on here. So this bike, this engine, this carb, these gears, that timing, mechanical internal, has not been touched. It was a running motorcycle. He's a good friend of mine. I believe him. I have to say sometimes clients have not been exactly correct in the history of their bikes when they brought it to me, such as, it was running when I parked it 40 years ago and nobody's touched it since. Well, you got to take that with a grain of salt. Bill, good buddy, no problem. The bike has run, should run. Let's cross those 2 off. We swapped out the spark plug, yes, many times. This is a replacement Boyer box that I have wired in with these jumper wires. So we've tried changing the Boyer box. This is a new Boyer plate and a new Boyer rotor. We've swapped those out. They are brand new. So we've swapped out the Boyer system completely. I put an ohm meter on the coil, good continuity through the coil, good continuity to the plug wire, no continuity to ground. It is fully isolated. The carb checks, the coil checks good. We might swap it out. I don't know. I might just swap out a coil. It's easy. I have a set of test coils and I can swap this coil out to try it. So we just might do that. Haven't done it yet. We did a leak down test on the bike. We pumped it up through the spark plug hole to 100 pounds, and it held it just fine. There's no leakage from the valves. The valves are sealing very, very tightly, and the leak down test passed beautifully. So the valves aren't leaking, and the valves aren't sticking. The rings are good according to the leak down test. If there's any fallacy in what I just said, let me know, send me a comment. I even hooked up a magnetic pulse generator to the wires going to the boiler box to simulate this pickup, and ran the pulse generator through the system, and we got spark like you wouldn't believe. I mean, brrr, beautiful spark. When we kick it over by hand, we get lesser spark. You can still see it. I tried showing it on video and couldn't catch it, but I see it. You get good spark every time you kick the bike over. Let's see. Okay, we did that. The one thing that we did notice when we did a compression test, we only got about 70 pounds compression. That's not a lot. But this bike also could and probably does have valve overlap. It's a racing bike, racing engine. I don't know if that's true or not. I've never had a bike with that low compression, but I normally don't work on singles. I work on twins. Norton's, BSA's, Triumph's, twins, almost exclusively. This is probably only the third or fourth single that I've worked on. And frankly, I wouldn't be working on this if it wasn't a buddy's bike. I just don't work on singles. So 70 pounds of compression on this bike might not be normal. It might. It is so hard to kick over. You're going to see me kicking this thing over. It is so hard to kick over. There's got to be more than 70 pounds of compression. 70 pounds of compression should be kick it like this, So it has such a difficult kick over. I know there's more than 70 pounds compression. I just couldn't measure it. Any comments? No problem. I'll take them. Here's what we're going to do today. First of all, I've gotten so many comments on my kicking style. You're doing it totally wrong, Frank. Well, that's true. Because I know the process. You put it on compression. You pull the compression release. You move it just past compression. You bring the kicker all the way back up. You kick it all the way through, and you'll get 2 strokes and it'll start. I know the process. I've used the process. I also know that if you kick the hell out of it, you're going to get some action. You're going to get pops, spits, back up, and starts. Frankly, if you just kick it over to compression and then just keep going just a little bit, you are now past compression. Now you can kick it over if you want. By the way, the plug's out. I couldn't do that by hand if the plug was in. So yea, verily, I know the process. I will now spend this morning, Kevin and I, when he gets here, we are going to spend the morning putting it on compression, releasing the compression release, kicking it, moving past compression just a little bit, and then kicking the bloody hell out of it. Okay? We're going to do that until we exhaust ourselves. We're going to do that. By the way, the owner says the bike starts for him, no throttle, no choke. Okay? No throttle, no choke, kick it, starts. Usually 3 or 4 kicks. So we're going to spend the morning doing this properly by the numbers as everybody has suggested until we exhaust ourselves. We're going to do it with choke, without choke. We're going to do it with throttle, without throttle, half throttle, quarter throttle, full throttle, no throttle. We're going to stand here and kick on this so-and-so until we wilt to see if we can get it started. Right now the timing is set, the carburetor is set, the wires are set, the ignition is set, everything is set properly. This bike should run. And we're just going to spend the next probably half hour when Kevin gets here kicking the bloody heck out of it. That's our plan for the day. And thanks for your comments. Good comments. And I appreciate them. I really do. And I read them. Yes, I do. every day. So that's where we are. We're going to do nothing more than kick on this bike today, I think, unless we see something, and try to figure it out. I'm really confused, curious about the low compression on the compression test. I think I should have more than 70 pounds, but I'm not sure what to do about it. I am not taking the top end off this bike unless the owner says, you know, it's time to go in there and take a look. So that's where we are. Kevin will be here in a while and we will start kicking. We'll do another video. Thank you. Thanks for watching the videos. Thank you for the good comments. You're all good guys and gals, I guess. You are all nice people. Gotta be PC. You are all good people. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you commenting. And by the way, it's just a couple days to Christmas. Have a good Christmas. Have a happy holidays. Have a good New Year's. And I will probably follow up with another video before Christmas, before the New Year's. We'll see how it goes. That's it. All right, quick follow-up. I just got a text from Kevin. He can't make it down here today. I might kick on it a little bit, but I'm not sure. Frankly, it's the moral support of having both of us here and the bouncing ideas off of each other that help a lot. So we'll see what happens. Bye.